Hey, peace. This is Morey Yacob, NITFTR Network. Thank you for joining me. Happy Shabbat to each one of you. Before we get started, let me blow the shofar. We thank the Creator for each one of you for joining me. As when you come into the building, make sure you press that like button or the down button. It doesn't matter. Just do something to show the algorithm. We thank the Creator for bringing us to this point, of our walk, giving us this day where that we can gather together. We thank the Creator for just being the Creator, you know, because He say the Sabbath is to be prepared. Um, is to be prepared. 6 days shall thou work, and on the seventh you supposed to gather, you know, and it's all good. Shalom, shalom to Sister Shamar and Emery, and shalom, shalom to Sister Latoya G. Make sure as when you come into the building, you press that like button. The Shabbat is supposed to be when you get together and you prepare for this day. And as you prepare for this day, you're supposed to be in a joyful mood to be able to worship the Creator, to be able to magnify the Creator, all that He has done. And it doesn't matter if you do it today or tomorrow or whenever. That day's supposed to be a glorious day, the seventh day of the Shabbat. It's a token day for Genesis, you know, but we know that we are in a fallen state. So today is symbolic for Genesis, the seventh day, where we enter the rest with the Creator. But it's strange to me that many of us don't prepare for this day. We just allow the day to come in, and from that point, we just go for what we know. The Shabbat is supposed to be a mindset. It's a mindset. It's not an event, a physical event, even though it is, but it's really a mental mindset of preparation. And I don't think a lot of us get that point, that the Shabbat is a mental mindset of preparation. And we supposed to be preparing for the glory of the Creator to come down into the place where we are. And ways that we can receive instructions from that point. The Shabbat is not just something that I come to just listen for the word. It's a symbolic point of the tent of meeting. But a lot of us, we take the Shabbat for granted because we just simply go about our own day, do our own thing. I'm busy. I'm struggling trying to survive. I'm trying to hustle. I'm trying to get that last bit in. And we are not in the mind or the mode for the glory of the Creator. it's just another day, like church. We get together, we listen to the words. Some people just some groups sing songs or whatever. And that's not the mindset that will take us back to the land. You know, none of us are perfect, meaning mature. We're mature in certain areas, but we're not mature across the board. Maturity is something that we're supposed to be fighting to be. That's what makes us perfect like the Creator. But a lot of us, we are trying to stay immature. And I'm going to say this to those that supposed to be with ITFTR network, the ones that's here specifically around me in Savannah. You're supposed to gather in one spot. But because it's being on YouTube Live, it become a crutch. Whereas that you don't know what to do when to gather personally. You know? And ITFTR network has done become a crutch to many of you. Way that you just continue doing what you're doing and go about your day as if this is a normal day. And I'm gonna say this. And I'm praying that heaven and earth is a witness. I'm not going to shut your ears. I ask the Creator to open your ears more, because you're going to be a witness against yourself to those that just here doing nothing. And I'm going to say this, because we got Yeshua ministry all across the board. Jehovah's Witnesses come knocks on your door. You got them One West camps and all those other people on the corners. Churches be doing outings, tent meetings all across the board, gathering up the people. But you don't minister to no one. No one around you is even interested. I went over the scripture today, Psalms 37, and I'm not gonna get into. I'm gonna get into a little bit of it, but then I'm gonna get on into the lesson of where's Babylon. But I'm gonna start at verse 1. Psalms 37, it says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity." Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Fret not thyself against evildoers. When you see people doing wickedness, don't become envious or like, oh man, I got to be like that in order to be able to do something, have something, be, whatever. Don't flow plan yourself like evildoer, people who break the law. Don't do that. Regardless of what people do, the success of people, if these people are not keeping the law, your mind don't supposed to even be following in that atmosphere. And it says neither be what? Envious against the workers of iniquity, people who just go beyond the rim. Like a lot of people know, today is the Shabbat. A lot of people haven't even prepared for the Shabbat. Even 7 days a week, 6 days you work. But during the 6 days, you're supposed to be preparing to be able to gather. And many of you haven't, many of you do not prepare for that. And we're not talking about preparing on the internet. Now, if you wait out in another state or something, then yes, you come to the internet. But those that are around, you're supposed to be in person. You're supposed to be in person. But that's what you call wickedness. And the reason why I'm going to tell you why it's wicked, just give me a minute. I'm going to tell you why it's wicked. It says, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Because people who you see flourish today end up withering tomorrow. In the moment they wither, all that what they were hustling for, they leave behind. It does them no good. Then when they see the Creator, heavens and earth speaks against you. Because all that what you were doing was vanity. It was vanity. I mean, straight up vanity. Verse 3. I'm just going to read down to verse 10. I'm going to be done. I promise you. Verse 3. Trust in the Creator. Trust in the Creator. A lot of people say, yeah, I trust the Creator, but you don't do his law. You don't prepare for a Shabbat. You don't. Peace, shalom to Trey, Zabor, and Zayden. You don't prepare for a Shabbat. Y'all just run around, do everything y'all supposed to do, how y'all supposed to do it. Y'all don't prepare for the Shabbat. Shabbat is a feast. It's a feast day, just like Passover, just like Feast of Unleavened. It's a feast. You go to Leviticus 23. It says, these are my feasts. And one of them is the Shabbat, the weekly Shabbat. I speak heaven and earth against you. It says trust in the Creator. That's why I'm going to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. It's a dangerous thing when you hear the truth and don't move on the truth. It's a dangerous thing. Feelings don't matter. It's a dangerous thing when you hear the truth and you don't move on the truth. That's a dangerous thing. It ain't hurting me, it's hurting you. My job as a watchman is to warn you. Trust in the Creator and do good. See, trust in the Creator and do good. Good don't mean don't cuss. No. The good is the law. I'm a trust in the Creator to follow the law. When the law said whatever the law says to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm talking about in a presentable way. Now, there are certain parts of the law that we can't do because we're not in the land. We're not under our jurisdiction. But the parts of the law that we can do, we're supposed to be doing it. Trust in the Creator and do good. So shall thou dwell in the what? Land. And verily thou shalt what? Be fed. Let me ask you a question. Some of you might be doing good, but why the majority of you struggling? You always got to come up with a hustle. to just try to keep a couple of dollars? Why are you struggling? It haven't dawned on you yet that you're cursing yourself even more than the curse itself? Most of you believe in vanity and you follow in vanity. And it's okay. Because when you follow vanity, you're going to end as vanity. Because your trust was never in the Creator. Verse 4, delight thyself also in the Creator. You know what delight means? Have pleasure with. Delight thyself in the Creator. You're supposed to take pleasure in serving the Creator. And serving the Creator is just not just coming, listening to somebody always talk. You're supposed to be in the mode of building as well. But we're not building individually. We're supposed to be building collectively. But when you get mad, y'all become more of an individual. Not you become an individual because you're already an individual. That's why you don't see. That's why none of you are moving none of y'all are moving according to your purpose. None of you. Because let me show you something. And I'm going to show you a purpose. A purpose is an advertisement. It's an advertisement. It's an advertisement. People should know what you believe, what you stand for. And then when they come to your place of convenience, you should be able to explain what you're riding for, who you're living for. But your delight is not for the Creator. It's for a person. Some of you just doing it because of me. Making me an idol. I'm not your freaking idol. Your purpose and pleasure and delight supposed to be for the Creator. Y'all want idols to look up to do things for? Go to those camps and churches. You don't need to be here. Over here is not that. And he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. You wonder why you're struggling. Because your desire is for vanity. And all you're doing is drawing vanity. You're recovering vanity. Because you're chasing after vanity. This is what y'all are doing. And I want the Creator to open your ears more to hear this truth. Because this truth, the more truth you hear, the more it's going to damn you. So when that day comes, you can't say, I never knew. Verse 5. Commit thy ways unto the Creator. Commit your ways unto the Creator. Today is the Shabbat. Your ways supposed to be commit for the Shabbat. By the time this lesson over, most of y'all probably be asleep. Your ways ain't committed to the Creator. Your ways is not committed. And the reason why most of you don't have the stamina for the Shabbat is because your stamina is for vanity, which puts you to sleep. That shows you that you're in a deep sleep. That's why it says, commit thy ways unto the Creator, and also trust also in him. Trust also in him. And he shall bring it to pass. The purpose that he gave you, the desires that you have, those things will come to pass if you trust the Creator. But most of you will sabotage everything in front of you because you don't trust the Creator. Verse 6. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. You're going to be able to see the things you're supposed to be doing. And your judgment that was you supposed to have been judged for, he's going to show it to you that he gave you mercy. But see, some of y'all don't even realize you sitting on mercy right now, and you still continue to follow vanity because of your feelings. I call heaven and earth as a witness. Verse 7. Rest in the Creator and wait patiently for him. Rest in the Creator. People say, oh, you don't sleep. I do sleep. I rest with the Creator. Now, when his body get tired, then you'll see me sleep. But I'll be so moving, me personally, I'll be so moving, trying to bring forth things that the Creator has brought forth before me to the people. I rest, but I don't rest like most of you. Because if the Creator is trusting in me to show me things, I'm going to prepare myself even more for him to continue to show me things. I'm not waiting on nobody around me. Even if those things take forever, I'm going to still prepare it in order to produce it and show it. Meaning I'm going to work. Yeah. So it says, commit thy way. Commit. That means everything, all your ways supposed to be about the Creator, not about you. You see? And trusted him, and he said all the things that you were looking for is going to come to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and the judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Creator. Wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of who, what? Prosper in his way. I don't give a rat tail what people got going on. People can come and tell me this and tell me that, tell me this and tell me that. I don't care. Because I know what the Creator shows me. And that's why you see me go hard at what I'm doing. And nobody yet has come on this platform and defeated the one Creator. They can't even defeat women being teachers and women being teachers and shepherds. And the reason why they cannot, because the law, this platform stands on law. Because of the man who bringeth wickedness devises to pass. Verse 9, verse 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Meaning anything that's not profitable, you leave it alone. You don't have time for it. It's not profitable. And if it's going outside of what the Creator has planned, showed me, I don't care nothing about it. You can hang on it. You can bungee jump with it. I don't care. I'm gonna keep my eyes on what the Creator's given me and purpose me to do. All the other stuff is background noise. It has nothing. It has no nothing for me. Verse 9: For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Creator shall inherit the earth. What it means to inherit the whole earth? Yeah, Israel. That's the remnant. That's the remnant. And that's why it tells you to be patient. In verse 10, and then we're going to jump into the lesson. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be, yea, meaning everyone that is not doing going to be soon moved out the way. Thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Like I said this morning, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not speaking on this again. The Creator gave each one of us a purpose. And he gave us the place where we supposed to fulfill that purpose. For him, not me. For him. And if I'm following the Creator, I'm going to do what it takes to move that purpose. But the majority of the people are following vanity. And that's why we don't see no purpose come from you. You're going to have to deal with the things that you could have done, you should have done, and you didn't do it. That's on you. So I come to a decrease. I land my plane from this point. And may the Creator seal my words of what you have heard. Because it's one thing when you hear the truth and you do and you move and you produce to show. But it's another thing when you hear and you sit down and you move like a snail because you don't want to do it anyhow. Like that New Testament said, and one part of that New Testament I do agree in, it's better to have not have heard than to have heard and not do. So y'all got some things to deal with. When that law say convocation, it simply means convocation. It don't mean nothing else. So we're going to slow down from this point, family, and we're going to get into the lesson. Where's Babylon? A lot of people like to say, well, the promised land is over here in Africa or Eurasia. But nobody talks about Babylon. Nobody talks about Babylon, family. Everybody just talks about, well, I know where the promised land is. The promised land is over here. The promised land is over there. The promised land is this place and that place. But the promised land has to sit next to Babylon. The promised land has to sit next to Babylon. I was listening to Tariq Nasheed today. And the brother said he was a Saudi. Asked Tariq, why do you have a Muslim name? He said, because some of the foundational Americans were Muslims. So the guy told him, well, why can't you embrace your lineage, being West African? And Tariq said, no, I'm not West African. I'm foundational Black American. My people been in America for centuries, way before anybody came here. But how the hell you come from Africa, Tariq? Then he come back and say, everything started from from Africa. That's what he say. He said everything started from Africa. So according to him, you African either way it go. You Africa either which way it go. So the people have the rights to call you African American, according to Tariq and these Pan-African boo-boos. But let's get into let's get into the lesson. We're gonna start at Psalms 137. We'll start at Psalms 137. Where is Babylon? Where is Babylon? Why is this thing starting to do this now? Oh, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, y'all. Where's Babylon? Let's start at Psalms 137. Everything that you were taught was a lie. Doesn't matter what they told you, it was a lie. And a lot of us, we continue to perpetuate the lie. We continue to perpetuate the lie because a lot of us, we don't want to go against the lie. We'd rather just keep our mouth shut, be modest, and whatever. And we think that's supposed to be, attractive. Let me do this right here real quick. Let me stop sharing this right here real quick. And give me 1 second. Because I know this thing gonna act up. Oh boy. This what I'm talking about. Okay, so see this thing acting up now. All right. Look, my computer acting up again. Look, let me do it on this right here. Y'all can see this right here. Y'all can see this right here. I know it's kind of blurry, but you can see it. It's the ice wall map. That's how the actual globe of the map look right there. It's the ice wall map. It's an ice wall around the whole map that they have shown you. It's an ice wall. You can't get out. You can't go beyond the ice wall. So when in school, why don't they tell you about this particular ice wall? Why? Why don't they tell you about this particular ice wall? They just have you believing that everything just happening to be free. They told you about the transatlantic slave trade was a lie. Evolution was a lie. All this stuff that they have been telling us and teaching us in school was straight lies. When they taught us history, they taught us the version of what they want us to know, not the actual truth of things. They don't tell us the truth of things. Because if they tell you the truth of anything, then you will find out and your spirit will wake up. But they are telling you they have to give you what is called a lie. They have to give you what is called a lie. They have to. Because if they give you the truth, then they can't control you no more. The lie is what puts you in a deep sleep. Believing in the lie is what caused the deep sleep to linger. Let me say it again. The lie is what puts you in a deep sleep. And believing in the lie is what lingers the deep sleep to continue. So they have to continue the lie or get you to continue the lie, which weakens your spirit and what makes them to be dominated over you, because they can't live purposefully in the truth. They can't. They have to give you a lie. They have to give you the culture of destruction. They have to give that to you for you to kill yourself, for you to be disobedient, for you to take this life for granted, and for you never to fulfill your purpose that the Creator put in your hands. They need you to fulfill vanity. So they tell you the promised land is over there. This is what they tell you. The promised land is over there. It's over there. In Eurasia. You even have groups, Israelite groups supposedly, telling you that the promised land is over there. Then you have groups tell you that the Israelites fled from that promised land over there into West Africa trying to get away from Rome. They built up these great empires. Then the white man finally went into Africa. Once when they conquered America. Then they went to Africa, got a boatload of us, and brought us to America to work. And then a lie was told that all the Indians that were here died off because they couldn't take slavery. Or the so-called blanket of disease killed them. Or they died through war. So either way, the so-called pale man story and these Israelite stories and the Back to Africa movement story, the conscious movement story is the same. Because when all the Indians died, the land was what? It was empty. So they had to go all the way across the land, the waters, to go get what? Slaves. It's a lie. Or everybody started from Africa and migrated all the way over here. That's another lie. So before I get into Psalms 37, let me get into Isaiah 1 and 3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know, my people do not even consider. A lot of times Israel do not even consider where is the promised land. And then, you know, the bad part about it, they don't even look into the Bible to try to figure it out. They just simply listen to whoever tells them what they think is the truth. And then they'll go from that point. You see, it'll go from that point. But you forget in Psalms 83, verse 2, for lo, and Psalms 83, I mean, these are scriptures that a lot of us should know. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, meaning confusion, noise. And they that hate thee have lifted up their heads. They see how they can defeat you now. They have taken what? Crafty counsel against your people. Your enemy. Have taken crafty counsel against your people and have consulted against thy what? Hidden ones. They looking for you, family. They realize that they have to conquer you and to keep you in sin in order for you to be ignorant of where your home really is. Who is they? Your enemies. Nobody is Israel's friend. Nobody. They said, verse 4, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. When you are no longer a nation, then tell me, what are you? When you're no longer a nation, then tell me, what are you? Because they cut you off from being a nation. That the name, your authority, the glory of you, the fame of you, the power of you, the establishment of you may be no more in remembrance. They don't want you to remember nothing about you. So if you don't remember anything about you, then how is you going to tell me anything about your homeland or anything that was around your homeland? They made you to have amnesia simply about your homeland and about your culture. You got amnesia. And now people who have amnesia, anybody can tell you anything. They can put anything in front of you. And if you don't know, if you got real bad amnesia, guess what? You will never be able. You have to wait till that amnesia stage dissipate, because you're not going to remember nothing. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Why do you think your enemy is for you? We will follow everybody to do everything, but we don't know who them people is we following. We don't know who these people we following, because we just trying to survive. Not knowing that Israel is among his enemy. Israel is among her enemy. And her enemy are liars. Let me grab that scripture real quick. Give me 1 second. I know it's in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 33:29. Your enemy is found to be liars. Deuteronomy 33:29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee? Who is like you, Israel? Who is like you, O people saved by the Creator. See, who the Creator saved besides you? Israel, the shield of your help. And who is the sword of your excellency? Who is that? And thy enemies shall be found liars unto you. See? And you shall tread down their high places. But your enemies, when you examine everything about them, they're going to be found as liars. But we don't challenge nothing that our enemy tell us. And we allow our enemy to teach our children. And our enemy was allowed to teach us when we were children. And we haven't challenged that lie yet. When the scripture's telling you right here in Deuteronomy 33:29 that your enemies are going to be found liars among you. They're going to be found liars unto you. But we believe what they tell us. Sister Latoya put up Ezekiel 33:36-3. Therefore prophecy and say, thus says the Creator, because they have made you desolate and swallow you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue, the heathens, and you are taken up in the what? Lips of a talker, and are the infamy of the people. They are all around you, have to, they are all around you, have to have a spiritual eye to see them. Correct. Because they're going to give you that lie. They're going to keep you in that deep sleep. They're going to keep you in that deep sleep. And we're not, and a lot of us are not ready to wake up from that deep sleep. That's why we are dragging in between moving according to the purpose of the Creator or staying in the room of the lie. Some of you ain't ready to shake that off you. That's why you can't see that these people that's around you, who are your enemy, is going to make sure that they keep you in the lie. That's why you do not control the very narrative of you. You have to go to the very narrative of them. And that's why in Isaiah 5:13, let's flip to Isaiah 5:13. Because see, when you go into their narrative, you follow their narrative, you live according to their narrative. Isaiah 5:13 says, therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge. You don't even know where your homeland is. You don't even know the culture of yourself. And we still following the narrative of liars. And your enemy shall be found liars unto you. Moses told the Israelites that. So why would you think that your enemy back then were found liars unto you? Why would you think today they are now telling you the truth? And you wonder why we are still in captivity. You wonder why. You wonder why. You wonder why. You wonder why. Because you embrace your enemy. You embrace your enemy. You don't study the Bible. Most of you don't even read the Bible after when the lives go off. You don't read this book. So you'll never know what this book can really offer you. You'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never know. I'm gonna put this up in the chat. Y'all look this up. Y'all look this word up and tell me what this is. I can't pull it up because I got to reset this whole thing, and I don't want to do that tonight. It's IT. Oh, I can't even put it in the chat. Damn. Somebody put it in the chat for me, please. It's ITINER. That's ITINER. ARIN. Excuse me. ITINERAIUM. Somebody put that in the chat for me. I got another word to go with it now. It's ITINERAIUM. That's the first word. And space it and put in this right here. BURDIGALENSE. Those are two words. BURDIGALENSE. Y'all look that up and tell me because my computer acting up tonight. That's the first word. Sister Latoya had put it up, and then it's the second word that goes along with it. BUR. Yeah, she just put both of them up. So look those words up and tell me what you get. Tell me what you get. Give you a minute or two. Tell me what you get. What do you get? Tell me what do you get? This is a Jerusalem itinerary. It's the oldest known Christian itinerary. It was written by the Pilgrim of Bordeaux, an anonymous pilgrim from the city of Bourgogne, whatever that how you pronounce it, in Rome, province of Galatia, yeah. Sister Latoya put up the oldest known Christian, itinerarium. It was written by the That's what that's what I was reading. It recounts the writer journey throughout the Roman Empire to the Holy Land in 333 and 334, as he traveled by land through the northern Italy. You see, and you can read the rest of it on your own. But this is the oldest point and the oldest part of anything that has something to do with Jerusalem. Okay, we talking about that over there. Okay, because this right here was before the Council of Nicaeans. Okay, this is before the Council of Nicaeans. And this is the thing what a lot of people don't understand, that on the map, in this guy's map, they never showed a Jerusalem over there. They never showed a Jerusalem over there. Okay? I'm just giving y'all something for y'all to read on your own. It never showed a Jerusalem over there. You can look up his map. And they'll never have a Jerusalem on his map. Ptolemy work came with maps, Ptolemy. But none have been discovered. Instead, the present form of the map was reconstructed from Ptolemy, coordinated by the Byzantine monks. Y'all Google Byzantine monks. And the Byzantine monks, they were moving according to Maximus Pleiades. And on those maps that they had back then, there was no Jerusalem over there. There was no Jerusalem over there. You can look up Byzantine monks, like the Byzantine Empire. It's the Byzantine monks. And you can look up Maximus, that's Maximus, Pleiades, PLA, Salakia, PLANU, Salakia, I'm messing up tonight. PLANUDES, PLANUDES. You can look that up. They didn't have no Jerusalem on their maps over there. So if Jerusalem was never over there, according to old maps, I can't pull them up tonight because this computer is acting up. So if they never had a map over there that showed Jerusalem, my question is, family, how you get a Jerusalem over there now? Because old maps don't show that. I'm talking about old Roman maps. It do not show any of that. So let's jump back over real quick to Psalms 37, 137. And we're going to read verse 1. It says, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remember Zion. So now you know we're talking about Babylon. When Israel was in Babylon, they wept when they thought about their homeland. Okay? And it says, we hang out our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. Let me ask a question, family. Because they tell you straight up that Babylon today is Iraq. Do Iraq have willow trees? That's my first question. We're going to find out where Babylon is tonight. Do Iraq have willow trees? Yes or no? Do Iraq have willow trees? Yes or no? That's my question. Do Iraq have willow trees? Put in the chat, yes or no. We're going to find out where Babylon at. I'm going to wait on your answer. We're going to go to the next one. Let's go to Jeremiah 25:9. Do Iraq have willow trees? Yes or no? We're gonna go to Jeremiah 25:9. We're gonna come back to you. We're gonna come back for your answer. Do Iraq have willow trees? Yes or no? Jeremiah 25:9. Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, says the Creator. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, will bring them against this land and against the inhabitations thereof, and against all the nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and a hiss and hissing, and perpetual desolation. So now we're talking about Babylon again. Babylon is in the land of the north. Jeremiah 10:22. Jeremiah 10:22. Behold, the noise of the bruit is come, and a great commotion out of the north country, to take the cities of Judah desolate, and the what? And the den of dragons. So Babylon is in the north of Israel. Shamar say yes. Sister Shamar say yes, they got willow trees. Okay. Is Iraq okay, Sister Latoya put up the organization has been actively involved in planting trees throughout Israel, aiming to green the landscape and create forest purpose of tree planting. The tree planting project has been seen as both as mean of transforming the environment and a way of what? Asserting Jewish presence in the land. That's a very good turning point on that. Because if you realize that they got a tree planting project going on, then that means they're going to bring in trees that fit the Bible. of saying this way this is, this way this is, and this way this is. Okay. But let's keep that on the table about the tree planting project. And let's say, yes, Iraq has willow trees. Is Iraq north of Israel? Is Iraq north of Israel? I posted that to say that I know you're talking about Babylon, but they purposely try to force those places to be built. Right. That's yes. Yeah. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Is Iraq north of Israel? Because the Bible says that the Creator is going to bring Babylon, which is the land of the north, down to Israel to conquer Israel. So that means Israel has to be south of Babylon. So is Babylon, is Iraq north of Israel? Oh, so it's northeast. No. It's well, let me ask you this, Sister Shamara. Is the whole land of Iraq north of Israel? We talking about the whole land, the whole entire land. Is the whole land north of Israel? Not parts of it, but the whole entire Iraq. Is the whole entire Iraq north of Israel? Not northeast, but north. The land of the north. Is the whole land of Iraq north of Israel? We're gonna figure this out tonight. While y'all looking at that, let's go to the next one. Let's go to Isaiah 13 and 22. Isaiah 13 and 22. Sister Shamar said they got willow trees. She said also it's northeast of Israel today, Iraq. And the wild beast of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. The point I'm looking at for this is, do Iraq have an island, have islands next to it? Do Iraq have islands next to it? Isaiah 13:22 says, and the wild beasts of the islands. Do Iraq have islands next to it? Do Iraq have islands next to it? Because one of the ones that starred Babylon was Nimrod. Nimrod. He was the son of Cush. He was most powerful of the day of his day. He was the fourth generation after the flood. Nimrod. See? Nimrod. Do Iraq have islands? Yes or no? Do Iraq have islands? Do Iraq have islands? Nobody don't want to answer that? That's fine. We'll move on. We'll move on. Okay, Sister Shamar say, yes, Iraq is north of Israel. Iraq has islands, I believe, along where the Tigris and Euphrates River meet. Well, where's that? Where okay. Somebody okay, Google it and put it up and let's see them islands. Let's see the islands of Iraq. We talking about of Iraq. What islands is right next to Iraq? What islands is next to Iraq? Because I don't know no islands that's next to Iraq. Because I got Iraq does not have any islands next to it. Iraq don't have anything, any islands next to it. Any islands next to it. So Iraq don't have any islands next to it. It don't have none. All right. So after the flood, we talking about the flood that after Noah's flood, what we call Noah's flood. Let's go to Genesis 11 and 2. Let's go to Genesis 11 and 2. So now we realize that Iraq don't have no islands. They may have willow trees. It may be in the north, but it don't have no islands. Babylon got islands. So now we realize that over there cannot be Babylon, because Babylon has islands. We're going to get into some more about Babylon in a minute. Genesis 11:2, after the flood. Look what it says. Start at verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. This during Nimrod's time. This right after the flood. The whole earth was under one direction, one language and one speech. Okay? Look what verse 2 says. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. They came from the east and found the plain of Shinar. So in order for them to come from where? They journeyed from the east. You'll think that they came from over there to over here. No. Or they journeyed from Europe to Africa. This is what you would tell, this is what you would say. They journeyed from the east, meaning they had to come from the west. And that's how they found the plains of Shinar. So what west did they come from? Did they come from here to go over there? No. I don't want to go ahead of myself. But right after the flood, they came from the west and they traveled east. They was on one landmass, family. Okay? They was on one landmass. And that's how they found Shinar. Shinar is a part, that's where Babylon come from. So when the people travel from the west, we're talking about the west of the Americas, and they travel to the east, where Babylon is. Babylon is in the east. Shinar is in the east, family. It's in the east of America. So the people came from the west of America and traveled to the east of America. You see how they go? The Bible giving you a descriptive of where the people came from. The west, they came from the middle part of America, the west part of America, and they traveled this way. They traveled to the east coast of America. Where Shinar was, that's where Babylon was. Shinar. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So Babylon don't have islands. So now, when you're talking about America, on the East Coast, there are a whole bunch of islands. New York is an island. New Jersey is an island. You got islands off of North Carolina, Delaware, Maryland. You got islands off of Georgia, Florida. But there's no islands off of Iraq. So now we realize that Babylon is on the east coast of America, where the islands are. And that's the reason why I gave you this verse, because Babylon went through destruction after Israel was set free by the Assyrians. I mean, by the the Medes and the Persians. Israel was set free. Babylon was destroyed. The Creator destroyed Babylon. He destroyed Babylon. You had Shinar, you had Atlantis, and you had Ethiopia or Ethiopia. Those were the three main empires. Shinar, Atlantis, and Ethiopia. Babylon was one of the greatest empires before it was destroyed. Okay? Now, when we're talking about Babylon, Babylon went through a transformation point by the Creator. Because the map, let me just give you the map. The map of Europe, Ethiopia, Atlantis, Shinar, Lemuria, and Mu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those were the 6 empires. 1, 2, 3. The 6 greatest empires on this earth. Europe, Atlantis, Shinar, Ethiopia, Mu, and Lemuria. But Mu and Lemuria was sunk, what they call Atlantis. It was sunk. And then you was in Atlantis. Atlantis, Mu, and Lemuria. Those parts of the landmass were sunk. Some parts of Atlantis still survived today. That's why they call Atlanta, Georgia. It's Atlantis, Georgia. That's why some parts of the islands is called the islands of Atlantis. Those are still some of the islands. Some of the peaks of the Atlantis still sticks over. People still lives on. But the majority of the land is underneath the water. Okay, it's underneath the water. Now, I'm bringing all this out because this has something to do Babylon. This has something to do with Babylon. Okay, when we're trying to figure out Babylon, see, this is how you realize where Babylon is. This is where how you find the promised land. You find the promised land is when you can find Babylon, because the Bible speaks of Babylon in the beginning. Because that's where everybody traveled at to go build the tower. See, I always got to stay in the beginning to realize what's there. Because when you get past the beginning, that's where the deception come in at. Okay? So now let's look up the word Shinar in the Phoenician Hebrew. Let's just use the Phoenician Hebrew for tonight. Shinar. That's Hebrew number 8152. Look it up and tell me what it means. Hebrew number 8152. Tell me what it means. Shinar. This is how you're going to find Babylon. Shinar. Hebrew number 8152. Because they could tell you, man, Babylon is Iraq, but see, Iraq don't have, they might have willow trees. It may be the north of that Israel over there, but they do not have islands. So Babylon do have islands, family. Babylon do have islands. So my question is, what do 8152 says? Sister Shamar say Babylonia, the land where the Tower of Babel was built and city of Babylon was located. Okay. Well, what do Hebrew number 8152 says? What the word Shinar means, according to Hebrew number 8152. Sister Latoya say a country of two rivers. Yes, but it's country, it's the country between two rivers. No, country of two rivers. That's right, country of two rivers. Correct. Hold on. Yeah, country of two rivers. That's my I don't know what I was looking at. That's correct. Country of two rivers. So when you're talking about country of two rivers, that means, now territory now known as Babylonia. Correct. That means it's the country. Babylon is the land that sits between two rivers. Okay, it sits between two rivers. Okay, so if Babylon sits between two rivers, then what is those two rivers? See, what is those two rivers? What is those two rivers? Another one I want you to look up, Hebrew number 1368. This was describing Nimrod. Hebrew number 1368. Gibor. Gibor. What that mean? Hebrew numbers 1368. Was Nimrod an average person, an average dude? Was he an average guy? Okay, Shamar said it, Euphrates and Tigris. Okay. All right, we're gonna get there. And then look up the Hebrew number 60, that's 6099. Ostum. He was mighty. You talking about Nimrod. Nimrod was Ostum. He was a Gibor Ostum. See, he was powerful. Nimrod was not just any average person. He was strong and mighty, and he was a powerful guy. Yeah. Means powerful and mighty. That's right. That's now I want y'all to see this was the first actual king of Babylon, Nimrod. So now you got to realize what type of people you were dealing with. See, I'm not just giving you the land, I'm showing you the actual leader of the people. Babylon was not a weak nation. That was not a weak nation by no stretch of an imagination. See, you got to put the people in mind too. He was not a weak dude. So if he was not weak, that means the people around him was not weak. It was a great nation. It was a great nation. It was a great nation. Okay? So let's go, let's get into a little bit more. Who are the Akkadian Indians? Acadia. Accadia Indians. Who is those people? The Akkadian Indians. Because let me go to Genesis, the 10th chapter. Let me go to Genesis, the 10th chapter. And go to Genesis 10 and 10. And it says, and the beginning of the kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad. That's the Akkadian, the Akkadian. And Chalnea or Chalnea, Chalnea, or Chalnea. In the land of Shinar. So Shinar is the actual land. Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh was the kingdoms that was in the land of Shinar. All right. Who was the Akkadian Indians? Who was they? Where's Akkad at? Acadia. Do Iraq have Acadia over there? Is there a city called Akkad or Acadia in Iraq? Sister Shamar say, why do some use Nimrod to insult one another? If in the Bible it is used to describe a skillful hunter, but nowadays we use it to describe someone as being foolish or an what it is in imminent impotent is supposed to be impotent. I guess you were trying to say impotent individual. Well, I never heard that before. People using Nimrod to insult. That's new to me. That's new to me. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. So I can't answer that. But Nimrod was he was a skillful hunter. Nimrod was a powerful, mighty hunter. It's the same, but it's the same way, Sister Shamar, when people use the word raccoon. Do anybody know what raccoon really is? When we say that, oh, you're a coon. But what is really the raccoons? I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you. The raccoon tribe. Somebody pull up the raccoon tribe. Yeah, they call somebody an idiot. But look up the raccoon tribe. Tell me who the raccoon people are, the raccoon tribes. Tribe is. Who is that? Raccoon Indian tribe. Who's those people? Who are the raccoon people? Who is the raccoon people? Right? Right. The term raccoon tribe refers to the raccoon clan Sister Latoya put within the Chickasaw Nation, where the raccoon was an important animal symbol within their clan. Correct. Because if you look at those people, look at how they look at how they wore the stuff around the eyes and etc. So when we say that people are coons, we really disgracing the coon tribe. That's what we're doing. The same way, like when we call people an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom, what was significant about Uncle Tom? Was he a traitor sellout? Was Uncle Tom a traitor or a sellout? Or did he do something that was significant in history that we don't talk about enough? See, because we take things and we follow the flow pattern and the rhythm of them, and we do not come out of the pattern to question the things that they have placed before us on our plate. We just eat it. What did Uncle Tom do? Was Uncle Tom a bad person, a traitor, a sellout? Or did he do something that was significant in history? Because, see, we have to stop using the terms of the endearment of us to belittle somebody. And we have to start questioning that stuff, what they put on our plate, and say, hey, why are we using this stuff? Why are we doing that? Uncle Tom, who was he? But while y'all getting that, let's go to Psalms 137, verse 8 and 9. You see? Babylon don't have islands. Babylon is between two rivers. I mean, Babylon is the Shinar, excuse me. Shinar is the land between two rivers. It sits on two rivers. So what is those two rivers? Sister Shamar said Euphrates and the Tigris. Well, let's see. Psalms 137, verse 8 and 9. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast what? Serve us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dash thy little ones against the stones. You see? So Babylon is going to be destroyed. Babylon is going to be destroyed. Anybody know who Uncle Tom is? So when Babylon is going to be destroyed, we have to kind of pay attention to what the scriptures are saying. That's not going to be it's not going to be something that people recognize so easily. Babylon is not, the Creator is going to destroy that. And one thing we got to remember, Sister Joanne say Black Americans during the civil rights era used Uncle Tom as a derogatory label for those seen for betraying their race. Right, but what did Uncle Tom do for us to use that? What did he do? Was he a bad person to sell out? Or did he do something that was significant? So who was Uncle Tom? What did he do? That was it something bad or was it something good? Because we use Uncle Tom the same way we use the word coon in a derogatory, but Sister Latoya put up the clan. It was the Raccoon clan within the Chickasaw Nation. We're talking about a tribe of people. So Uncle Tom was an actual person. What did he do that was significant? Uncle Tom was based on Joe Henson, real life slave from Canada. Right, but what did he do? What was significant about him? See, because if we don't know or dispel the myth of what we are using and saying, then that same thing will pass down to us the same way we don't know too much about our homeland and our culture. And then when our children grows up and our grandchildren grows up and our great grands grow up, they're going to be ignorant of the same thing we've been ignorant of. So we have to learn to dispel. So if we don't know the dispel of these things, then how do we teach against the actual ignorance of it? The same way they told you the promised land is over there, but over there, Iraq, the Babylon that they gave you, don't have islands. So where did the island go? He was overly subservient to white people. So that's what Uncle Tom did, being subservient to white people. I'm gonna let y'all have that for homework. Because if y'all don't know, ain't no need for me to tell you. That means you need to go read. That's homework for y'all. Let somebody Trey say Uncle Tom, a kind and religious slave, is significant for the unwavering Christian faith and refused to betray his fellow slaves. Yeah, you right there. You right there, Trey. You right there. Let me see if you're gonna bring it up before you hit a landmine. You right there. Type this in, y'all. Y'all look this up right here, real quick. The Tohono people. The Tohono people. That is TOHONO. And then it's the Aduham people. OODHAM people. Who is those people? Because they talked about the Great Flood. They talked about the Great Flood in their writings. And they told you in their writings that the Spirit destroyed. Because after the flood, the people tried to build a wicked house. And the Great Spirit destroyed it. Who is the Tohono people? Who are they? Where are they from? The Tohono people. Because they talked about the Great Flood in their writings. Who are they? Where are they from? Because they spoke of Montezuma. Yeah, the Tohono people, known as the Desert People, are a Native American people indigenous to the what? The surrounding desert, primarily in Arizona and northern Mexico. They are federally recognized tribe called, yes. They are indigenous to America. And they are from Arizona and North Mexico. In their writings, they talked about the Great Flood. And they talked about after the Great Flood that the people try to build a wicked house to the heavens, and the Great Spirit struck it down. So the people of these lands talked about the Tower of Babel. You see? There's many more other tribes of these Americas talked about the Great Flood. Talked about it. So where's the people over in Iraq that talks about the Great Flood? Where's it at? Who talks about the Great Flood in Iraq? Or that's just specifically over here? Genesis 10:10 and 11. We already read verse 10, but let's read verse 11. Genesis 10 and 11. And out of the land went forth Ashur and built Nineveh and the city Rehoboth and Calah. So you see, Babylon and Shem, some of Shem people kind of Ashur branched out of Shinar. And from out of Shinar came Nineveh. You see? See, we got to look at how where Babylon come from. It come from the land of Shinar. It's one of those kingdoms. Babylon is not just Babylon by itself. It's other nations there. Anybody got the Akkadian Indians? What language is Arcadia? Is it an Arab word or is it an Indian word? Arcadia or Akkadian? We're gonna learn tonight. Arcadian. What language is that? Is that an Arab word, Muslim word, or is that an American Indian word? Indigenous talk for the righteous. Let's get some indigenous language up here. What the word Akkadian is that an Arab word? Is that an Arab or a Muslim word, or is that an American Indian word? Trey said groups descended from the French who settled in North France colony of Acadia during the 17th century. Well, where's Acadia at? Is it in Iraq? Or is it in the Americas? Look up New France and tell me where New France is at. New France. Tell me where New France is. Where's New France territory? Where's New France? And what word is Acadia? Is that an Arab word or an American Indian word? Very good. Very good, Trey. New France was a name given to the French colonies in continental North America. What part is continental North America then? Where was that at? Is that New France was the whole America? Was New France the whole America? Brother Trey? Acadian. The territory attached from the Gulf of Mexico to the South Hudson Bay in the north. And the Hudson Bay is where, Brother Trey? Yeah, Sister Latoya, she put it up there, Canada. Um, but you got it right, Brother Trey. You got it right. I want them thumbs to work tonight. Yeah, so New France is in Canada. And then it stretched itself all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, which is Louisiana. So that's Arcadia. That's New France. The word Acadia comes from the word Acadie, Akadie. That's Akadie. And what that word means, what Acadie means, Acadie. What does that mean? Because they tell you Acadia, the Acadian Indians, and it's a Micmac word, Acadie. What do Akadie means? What does that mean? Anybody? What Acadia mean? It's an Algonquin word. It's a Micmac Algonquin word, Alcady. So what do Alcady mean in Algonquin? Algonquin spells ALG, excuse me, ALGON, excuse me, QUIAN. It's an Algonquin word, Alcady. What does that mean? What does Acady means? Nobody don't know. All praise, brother Trey, place of abundance. It means fertile land. Correct. That's what it means. It means place of abundance. That's an Algonquin word. That's an American Indian word. You see? And Cajun, y'all know the word Cajun, Cajun, like they say Cajun. That is a corrupt word for Acadian. Okay. So when you hear them say Cajun, that's the corrupt word for Acadia. All this is Babylon now. So Babylon stretched it from Canada all the way down to Louisiana. Some of the people from out of Babylon, from the Acadia Indians, went from Babylon or Shinar down to Louisiana, which are the Cajuns. You see? You see how that go? It's just part one for tonight because it's a lot. That's why I'm not running over this, because you need to know where Babylon is. And if you don't know where Babylon is, you definitely don't know, can't tell me where the promised land is, where your homeland is. This is a lot. It's a lot on Babylon. This is part one for tonight. Acadia goes all the way up to Quebec, Canada, all the way to New Brunswick. That's Acadia, New Brunswick. Nova Scotia, Providence, Edward Islands. I'm giving it to you where Acadia is at. Acadia is New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and the Providence, Edward Islands. That's the kingdom of Acadia. And then you got some parts of Maine. That's Acadia. Okay? All this is important. All this is what I'm telling you is important. All this is important. And think about it. If Isaiah 14, where it says, O son of the morning, Lucifer, king of Babylon. See, the king of Babylon was called the son of the morning. They were the fathers of the East. Isaiah 14 was talking about Babylon. Them falling. Who was the fathers of the East? Okay. Now, let's grab a couple of more things. So now we know where the king of Babylon, where Shinar is and Babylon is. Now we know that. Okay. Ashur is Assyria. Shinar is all the way from Canada all the way down to Florida or Georgia. That's the land of Shinar. All right. That's the land of Shinar. From Canada all the way down to Georgia. Okay? See, Shinar is the land. That's the territory land. That's the territory name. Shinar, which includes Babel and Ashur. That's Assyria, which includes Acadia and all them other all those other kingdoms. Shinar. All right. So now, um, y'all look this up and tell me where do you find these mountains at? Amanus mountains. Amunus mountains. Amanus mountains. Where's these mountains at? Where's the Amunus mountains at? Where do they say that the Amunus mountains are? Here's where we about to catch them in a lie. They tell you that the Amunus mountains are in Turkey, southern Turkey, right? This is what they tell you. Right. Located in Egypt. And did you say Anubis? No, Anubis. No, Anu. And it's Amanus. That's Amanus mountains. They tell you that this is located in Turkey, southern Turkey. This is what they tell you. Okay. Now, if these mountains are located in the east, what they call the east, okay, then that means Babylon has to be over there. Okay? Babylon has to be over there. Because Maine, Mane, Mane is the ancient city named for Maine. Take the I-N out, take the I out, and it's M-A-N-E, which is, they don't know where that name come from, the word Maine. They don't know where that word come from. Look it up. Look up the word Maine and see where that word come from. They don't have an origin for that word. They don't have an origin where that word come from, Maine, M-A-I-N-E. It's unclear. They say it's a theory. See why they don't know where that name come from? Because it's an Aboriginal name. That's why. See, that's an Algonquin word. Maine. Algonquin are the what? The Wabanaki people. That's the Wabanaki people. And they don't know where that word come from, Maine. That's a Wabanaki word. See, a lot of the land mass of the Americas still have the original names there. The problem is you just don't know what those names are. Like you hear a lot of people say they're playing in your face. Because they are. They're playing in your face, family. They're playing right in your face. And you thinking that they are, you know, when they give you history, they telling you the truth. They're not telling you the truth. They're not telling you the truth. So let's go to the next one. Let's go to Leviticus, the 2nd chapter. Leviticus, the 2nd chapter, verse 14. We're going to come back to the Animus Mountains. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But let's go to Leviticus, the 2nd chapter, verse 14. See, the Bible gives very descriptive points. Very descriptive points. And it says, and if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruit unto the Creator, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruit green ear of what? Corn, dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of the full ear. Now, the first thing they'll tell you is, oh, that's grain. Yeah, the corn kernels are grain. It's a grain. That's how you get cornmeal, you get cereal, you get grits. That's a grain. See, don't let them play words with you, family. The corn herb, the kernels inside on the cob is a grain. You grind it down, and that's how you get those grains. Don't let them play with you like that. Drop down to verse 31. Hold on. Did I mess up? Leviticus 2:14. I think I did. Huh? I'll come back to that because this is just part one in here, so I'm not worried about that. When you're talking about green ears, corn, you're talking about maize. Maize is full ears. Okay? And the kernel holds inside of the hull of the corn holds water. That's why it has to be dried. That's why it has to be dried. All right? So you're talking about maize. See, wheat, the hull of the wheat is too small. And it don't need to dry because it don't hold water like that. Not the wheat hull, but the corn hull or the shell of the peel of the corn. Inside of that corn, it does hold water at the very top. It holds water. That's why you have to dry it out. Let's go to Job 24:24. Job 24:24. They are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low. They are taken out of the way as all others, and cut off as the tops of the ears of the corn, because that's where the water holds, the top of the ears of the corn. You see? That's where the water at, the top of the ears of the corn. That's why when you buy corn, the top be missing. They cut that part off. So the family, I brought up that is to show you corn, not wheat, but corn is an original plant of the Americas. So if corn is an original plant of the Americas, family, how we got Babylon way over there? Because hold on, let's do this right here real quick. Genesis 42, verse 5 and 6. And it says, verse 5, Genesis 42, verse 5 and 6. And it says, and the sons of Israel came to buy Corn. Now, I know some translation says grain, but corn is a grain. Among those that came from the what? Famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he was the what? And he that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph, brethren, came and bowed down themselves before him and their faces to the earth. They came to buy corn. Joseph planted corn, grain. Watch this. Genesis 41, 49. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Joseph stored up huge quantities of grain, like the sand of the sea. It was so much that he stopped keeping records because it was beyond measure. You see that? Grain. But in the King James, it says corn. Because you know why? Corn is a grain. Corn is a particular type of grain. Any questions so far? Anybody got any questions? Now let's go back to Isaiah. Let's go back to Isaiah 13. And let's start at verse, just to show you something real quick. Let's go to Isaiah 13. When the Creator destroyed Babylon. Isaiah verse 13, let's start at verse 15. And we're going to read down to verse 22. And it says, everyone that was found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. It's talking about the destruction of Babylon, okay? And it says, the children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. That's talking about the fall of Babylon. You ain't talking about no other fall. And some camps usually talking about we're going to rape their wives. No, this already happened. It's already happened, family. Verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Because who caused Babylon to fall? Medes and the Persians. I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. The Medes don't want their money. Their bows shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. See? The Medes and the Persians coming in to destroy them. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. A lot of people is not going to be living there no more. You see? When that day happened, the people just left them alone, left that land alone. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, the mixed people. They're not going to even want to live in that land. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. There's not going to even be enough grass to raise any cattle. But the wild beast of the desert shall lie there. And their homes shall be full of what? Doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there. And saltires shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. You can't use that and talk about that's going to happen again. That's already happened, family. That already happened. That already happened, family. So now, number one, the land is to never be inhabited again. There's not going to be that many people there. That's number one. Number two, the Arabian means mixed people won't dwell there. That's the Midianites, verse 21. The mixed people are the Midianites. The next one is North Quebec is desert, meaning a tundra. Tundra. It's a tundra. It's a desert. That's North Quebec. Look it up. Number four, the entire ancient people of Babylon will cease to exist. That's why a lot of people is not going to live there. Babylonians are going to cease to exist. So who are the Babylonians today? Satyr, or Satyr, Satyr, meaning Sawir, Sawir, meaning shaggy or hairy. Who is that? What is that? That's a musk or an ox. In order for a musk or an ox to live there, the climate has to be cold. And, and those animals are being introduced to Babylon because they're not native to Babylon. The musk and the ox is being introduced to Babylon. They are called satyrs or satyrs, Satyr. You can look that up in verse 21. Look up the Hebrew word, 8163. It's talking about a musk ox. Babylon is going to be destroyed. They're going to be destroyed. Okay? Let's go to 2 Samuel 5 and 9. Let's talk about the destruction of Babylon. And it says, and it was so that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Creator was against the city with a very great destruction, and he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had immorals in their secret parts. Now, here's the point. There are immorals in their secret parts. Go to Hebrew number 4407. Somebody tell me what that is. Hebrew number 4407. Somebody tell me what that is. Milo. What Milo means. What Milo means. See, it says, and we read again, and it was so that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Creator was against the city with a very great destruction, and he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had immorals in their secret parts. What is 4407? That's a rampart. What is a rampart, family? Anybody know what a rampart is? Yeah, they're mounds. They are mounds, and they are called ramparts. Ramparts. That's why in the Star Spangled Banner, they always tell you about a rampart. A rampart, that's like a fort, a mound. You see? This is what they was doing. They forts were destroyed. Now, let me do two more things and we're going to close on out. Pandaram. P-A-D-A-N Aram. A-R-R-A-M. Where was Pandoram at? Where was Panda Aram at? Where was Pand Aram at? Let's go to Genesis 25 and 20. Genesis 25 and 20. This is what it says, Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 45 years old when he took Rebekah, his wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Hadaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. So Rebekah came from Hadaram. Uh-oh, we got something going on here. Let's go to another one. Genesis 28 and 2. Genesis 28 and 2. So Padaram is very significant, family. Genesis 28 and 2. Arise, go to Padaram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. So what is Padaram? It's an area. It's an actual place, family. You got South India? Okay. Look up Hebrew number 60. Hold on, let me make sure. 6307. Look up Hebrew number 6307. What do Padaram means? Nobody don't know what it means? Okay, Sister Latoya put a plane or a tableland in northern Mesopotamia, in Aram, a region of Syria. Definition strong, definition legion, padam, from the unused meaning to extend a plateau. Right, a plateau. So, Sister Latoya, what is a plateau? Brother Trey say my blessings or my favor. I don't know where you get that from, Brother Trey. Sister Latoya, what is a plateau? And it means the highest plateau. No, 6307. It's 6307. Param is the highest plateau. So you talking about the highest mountain. That's the highest mountain region. We still talking about Babylon. We still talking about Assyria. Because remember, Assyria is in the land of Shinar. So we dealing with America. So you're still dealing with the highest plateau on the east coast of America. What part is that? A plateau is a field? Right, it's a large elevated land. That's a mountain. So what part of the east coast of America is the highest part of the mountain? That's where Mesopotamia is at. That's where Padaram is at. Because Iraq is flat. But Padaram was talking about the highest plateau of the mountain. And let me give you two more, and then we're going to talk about the two rivers, and we're going to close out. Type in, I want y'all to type in A-R-A-M, Aram, and N-A-H-A-R-A-Y-I-M. N-A-H-A-R-A-Y-M. Tell me what you get. Aram Naharaim. And I want you to Google okay, near Colorado and New York. Okay. I want you to Google for Aram Naharaim. Google Hebrew number 763 and 758. 763 and 758. We about to talk about these two rivers. And I'm about to show y'all where these two rivers are at. Where Shinar, it's the land between the two rivers. 763 763 and 758. Because see, they'll put you in the Middle East. But we about to catch they lie. What you got? Y'all should have the Tigris and the Euphrates. Sister Shamar had put that out earlier. Mount Mitchell. Okay. Yep, that's Aram. So now you know, so Sister Latoya, now you know you're dealing with that lineage. Paharam is that lineage, correct? Brother Trey, where you get Mount Mitchell from? Where's Mount Mitchell at? So they tell you Aram Naharaim is Euphrates and the Tigris, right? Okay. Now let's look up Hebrew number 758. So you see, in 758, it tells you Aram, Syria. And the first thing that comes to your mind is over there. That's what you'll come with. Okay, that's not how you speak in the Eastern. Okay. I never heard of Mount Mitchell. That's why I'm asking. I never heard of Mount Mitchell. But when you think of Syria, you think of over there. Where Iraq is, where that land Israel is, okay? But if you ever take notice, Assyria is flat. Iraq is flat. But watch this. So Padam, Aram, and Aram Naharaim is telling you it's a high plateau. And the high plateau has two rivers next to it. Okay? It has two rivers next to it. We're going to close out right here. North Carolina, Virginia region has two rivers. North Carolina and the Virginia region has two rivers. And it's on a higher plateau area. What is those two rivers? I'm going to see who got it. North Carolina and Virginia has the two rivers that's flowing from the highest plateau. What is the name of those two rivers? And we're gonna end it right here, and we're gonna pick up part 2 next week. North Carolina and Virginia. There are two rivers that's flowing from the highest plateau on the East Coast. This is how you know where Aram is at. And now you're gonna realize the people that you was dealing. Who was the people? Who are those people in that area? What's the name of those two rivers? Nobody don't know? Who knows the two rivers from the top peak, the highest peak between Tennessee and North Carolina? Nobody don't know. Nobody knows where the two rivers from the highest peak. Nobody knows. New River? No. The French Broad River and the... No. No, Sister Shamara. No, Brother Trey. Pull up the map of the Mississippi River and tell me the two rivers that's flowing between North Carolina and Virginia. It's the rivers that run off the Mississippi. They run off the highest peak out of the mountains. Downhill. What is those two rivers? It's the North Carolina and the Virginia region. Nobody don't have it? I'm gonna give you the first one. The first one is the Ohio River. What is the second one? What is the second one? It runs right into the Mississippi River. The first one is the Ohio River. Where does the Ohio River run at? Yeah, it's the Ohio River, but there's another river that runs to the Mississippi on the North Carolina side. Yep, the Little Tennessee River. Those are your two rivers. That's where the land of Shinar is. It runs between those two rivers all the way up to Canada. Are we just getting started with Babylon? Because it's a lot. If you don't know the descriptive points of Babylon, then you will never know where the promised land is. Because Babylon attacked the land of Israel and destroyed them, but they came from the north. But Babylon was destroyed as well. And a lot of them was taken into captivity. We're going to get into that next week. The Creator destroyed Babylon. That's why I'm going to close out with this. Let me pause this real quick. Because when you hear this, this is just sheer ignorance. Let me pull it up. This is just sheer ignorance. It's fair use, fair use. This is not my material. I don't want no parts of this material, but it's just for teaching purposes and educational purposes only. This is IUIC. This is a short clip of IUIC about Babylon. This is how you know when you're listening to ops. They don't teach you about America only when it's negative. Shinar means the land that is fertile, abundance. Okay, that's right. This is the old world over here, not the new world. It's the new world for them, but it's the old world for you. That's why the things of this land doesn't amaze you, because you built it, you created it, you was a part of it. You are a part of it. It's your home. But it amazed everybody else because this land is great. It's the old world. But they're trying to tell you to flee, to run, because America is about to be destroyed. That's right.
Of her fornication.
So any nation that did not want to drink of the policies of America, they were cut off economically. All of them. That's what happened to Haiti. They tried to be independent. America and France was like, no, you're not going to be independent.
You know, just use on the line. Use some common sense. They go into Haiti and Africa. They strip the land of the resources, and then they determine what their money is worth. They determine what Europe and America would be a third world country if it wasn't for Africa and Haiti and throughout the Caribbean that supplied them the resources to build cell phones, everything you can think of in life, medicine, everything. And then the white man turn around and say, your money's not worth anything. Unbelievable.
Now, you heard the lie. If it wasn't for Haiti, Caribbeans, and Africa, America and Europe would be a third world country. You see how they sleep on America? Haiti and the Caribbeans is a part of America. That's America. But you see how they separate it to make it look like everybody's feeding you? Everything that everybody got comes from them to give to you. Nothing is in America, according to them. Nothing is in America. But let me grab one more. Let me grab another short one, and we're done. See, according to them, nothing is in America. Nothing. Nothing is in America. Only thing in America is desolation and destruction, degradation, and everything else. See, America is where the beast is. It's the drunken beast. So America gonna be destroyed, and you going back over there into Africa. They end up in the Back to Africa movement in another form. If you ain't paying no attention to it. But let's keep riding. Let's go. We still in the Fair Use Act. Let's go.
Of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellence
So this Babylon is the United States of America. Watch, here's the proof. Read.
shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
When you read the history about the fall of Babylon, they did not fall like Sodom and Gomorrah fell. Sodom and Gomorrah fell through thermonuclear fire from heaven. Fire from heaven destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's not how Babylon, ancient Babylon, fell. But this Babylon right here, it said it's going to be like God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Why does it say like Sodom and Gomorrah? Because here they got what? Same-sex marriage. That's pushed on. And you ever notice most TV shows, especially the black ones, they got to be a lesbian on there or homosexual on there, a transgender on there to make it easy for the mind to accept.
And Babylon, the glory of King.
So same-sex marriage is only on TV in America. It's not in Europe. Same-sex marriage is only in America, not in Israel over there or no place else. So America is the only place that's pushing the same-sex marriage. He said this is Babylon. America is Babylon. Not the kingdom Babylon, because ancient Babylon, see, that been destroyed. So now you got a new Babylon. A new Babylon that rose up. Paul and them say there's a new Babylon that came, rose up. Rah. Family, we dealing with Genesis 9:27. Not no freaking new Babylon, the mystery Babylon. You dealing with Genesis 9:27. We're going to get into that a little bit more next week. We're going to finish defining Babylon, and we're going to finish defining other things. Excuse me. We're gonna finish defining everything else of what you call it, of Babylon. We're not going to sit there and listen to people that lie. You're gonna have these things at your fingertip. Babylon is an Algonquin Iroquois nation. Those are the two nations that form Babylon, the Algonquins and the Iroquois. And you had other tribes that formulated those nations that were Indians. Okay. So, any questions? Y'all have my number. You can email me. And I'm available 24/7. So until then, family, may your Shabbat continue to be peaceful, restful, and relaxful. Okay? Shalom.